the KX News Storm Team.
Welcome back, everyone, into KX News at 4, where we're starting to see some isolated showers creep into areas to the far south and west here. Even a few pop-up showers getting marked on the map here to the south and east of Williston, closer to, say, Watford City and Killdeer. Of course, the main event in terms of rain likely not coming into play until we approach closer to the daytime hours of tomorrow and there on out here. And we'll get into that in just a bit. But soak in the 80s while you can, because unfortunately this looks to be one of the last several days in which we'll see 80s on the map here. So you can see some 80s closer to New Salem, capital city, hanging tight at 80 degrees. Now the further north you are located, the cooler those temperatures are becoming here. You can see we even have some mid 70s up closer to Crosby and Mohall overall. So as far as the increased chances for rain are concerned, as we approach later on into the evening, not expecting anything more than, say, a spot shower or two. Again, odds kind of favoring a better chance for that within the greater Dickinson area and areas to the far south and west there. Really, we start to see those rain chances continue to ramp up once we get past midnight here. And right now, our thinking is this will mainly be an issue for south central locations. So generally speaking, to the south of I-94 there, closer to the Bisman area. And I know this is an area that has already received quite a bit of rainfall since Sunday's severe outbreak here, but it's something that we have to mention here just because of the fact that this is going to increase into the latter half of the week as well. And that means that is where we could see some cooler temperatures on the map here into those 60s down to the south. You see some 70s hanging on by a thread. 70s is right around where we should be this time of year in terms of average highs. But again, like I was mentioning before, the rain chances just continuing to increase once we get past the point of tomorrow afternoon into the evening as well. Now, is this definitively what's going to occur overall? Absolutely not, but it's giving us a rough idea in terms of who stands the best chance at seeing those heavier bands of rain. Possibility seeing some isolated rumbles of thunder. Certainly not ruling that out. Of course, in terms of whether or not that'll have the potential of becoming severe, the odds remain low at this point in time, but it is not a 0% chance by any means. But this low is going to continue to sit and spin down towards our south even as we approach closer to Thursday and in some spots getting into Friday as well. Keeping in mind, this is giving us a rough estimate. Model guidance is confident in the fact, relatively speaking, that the most rainfall is going to occur to the south of I-94. Now, could this absolutely change and move a little bit further northward? Yes, this is just meant to give you a rough estimate of what we think will likely occur as we get closer to Friday overall. So taking a look at Williston's next 5 here, we are going to be talking those temperatures cooling off by quite a bit Thursday and Friday into the 60s. I think Williston stands the best chance at remaining relatively dry through the end of the week before warming back up into those 70s. Looking at Dickinson's next 5 here, similar story into the 70s for tomorrow, cooling off into the 60s by the end of the week. A little bit of a progressive warm-up going into the weekend. And here's Minot's next several days into the 70s for tomorrow, cooling right down into the 60s, almost a 10-degree drop in temperatures, aligning with that increased chance for rain by the end of the week. And finally, looking at Bismarck's next several days, we are going to be talking increased chances for rain, not just tomorrow, but into Thursday, possibly part of Friday as well, for drying out just in time for the weekend, Joel.
Which will be all right, so people get to go out and enjoy some of that sunshine again.
Yeah, it'll be a welcome return to that considering what we saw this past weekend.
Let's hope so. Crossing our fingers for some good news and more pleasant days.
You know, fall kicks off on Monday, and I guess the 60s are putting us right in the spirit for that.
That's about in line with what we expect anyway.
I was wishing summer was going to hang on by a thread right until the end, but looks like it's not going to be the case.
It comes for everybody. Vanessa, thanks so much, and stay with us. Coming up next, many things we buy every